of political pundits and polls, postponements and budgets, there are a plethora of things to speak on. This is The Conversation, and I'm Kwame Thomas. Today we examine these and more with the opposition spokesperson on information, Mr. Raymond Pryce. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes. So I've been looking at the media, I've been looking at the news, and I'm just interested to find out what are your views on the recent budget presentation by the finance minister. That's the first thing I'll jump into.
The presentation is, in my view, a continuation of a trend from which he can't depart. The truth of the matter is that in the 2008 to 2010 period was the last time we saw a finance minister going off the rails in terms of the handling of the country's economy. And between 2012 and 2016, then Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, while working with Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller, had to literally dig up the tracks, rebuild the Jamaican economy from the foundation up with a lot of oversight and partnership with the IMF. There were certain laws that were passed in terms of the fiscal discipline legislation, which assures three things. One, that kind of recklessness that we saw in the 2008 to 2010 period never returns. Two, that all of the fiscal and monetary policies were now in keeping with modern standards and globally benchmarked. And three, that all finance ministers going forward will be accountable by law to the proper management of the economy. So there was very little in the presentation by Dr. Nigel Clarke that I found surprising.
Okay. Now, as far as the priorities are concerned, though,
yes.
Do you think those are in line with where the country is supposed to be going? And the bigger question also is what exactly is being communicated by this budget presentation? Well,
our grandparents used to tell us, show me your company, and I tell you who you are. When it comes to our government, show me your budget priorities, and I will tell you the kind of government you are. So in that regard, you ask the question, are the correct priorities the ones that are put forward? What I would call the correct priorities are these: education, health, and national security. If you're developing a country to create a modern, prosperous, and productive society, the members of that society must be well educated. In that regard, I don't think that the allocation to the education ministry for actual education was sufficient. The second one is health. And while there are significant amounts of money being allocated to the health sector, my concern with that is over the last couple of years, the government, the Holiness Administration, has fallen into a credibility dilemma. The Cornwall Regional Hospital is the best example of that. We were told that it would have been completed in 2 years for $5 billion. Now we're being told it's going to be more like 4 to 5 years. And already the new estimate is well beyond 10 billion. At the same time, we hear in the budget of refurbishing the University Hospital of the West Indies, refurbishing Spanish Town hospitals and other health facilities. And the problem that we have with that is it going to be done like what you're doing with Cornwall Regional Hospital? Missed budgets, missed targets, missed diagnoses, or is it going to be done properly?
So, but what could have been done differently, though? Because I'm looking at it, and since the onset of COVID, we're still looking to recover.
Yes.
The price of pretty much everything has gone up.
Yes.
Could it be argued then that these are some of the reasons why there has been a misstep, rather, in terms of how the amount of money is presented and the cost now and all of those things? Could those not be reasonable assumptions to make?
Those could be reasonable assumptions.
But?
However, the opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Maurice Guy, who is an actual medical doctor, had done a tour of the facility. And interestingly, he said the work that needed to be done would have been closer to 10 billion than 5. And the time to do it would have been closer to 4 years than 2. And this is why there is a credibility gap If today, well, we are recording this on a Thursday, that's just a fact. Wednesday might be my favorite day, Friday might be your favorite day, but today is Thursday. What the administration sought to do was to make it seem as if by the snap of a finger, they could brogadize everything and just do it based on how they said it without a truthful, professional, and proper assessment.
So you're saying that we were misinformed, essentially.
Yes.
What could they have done differently?
Told the truth. It's always a very good place to start. They could have had a thorough investigation in terms of the environmental health requirements for that building. They could have been quicker to respond to the complaints. I don't know if your audience remembers that first you had a series of nurses and other medical staff passing out, complaining that the air quality was poor. The administration was slow to respond to that. And when they finally responded, they attempted to give us the Band-Aid edition as to just how quickly it could have been done. And I believe that we are now seeing the addition in time, which is an expense, as well as the addition in cost. So even the suggestion you made, which is factual, that the inflation would have affected the overall price tag, but then the timeline would have also added along with inflation. And the question that now arises in the minds of people from St. Catherine, from Portmore, from parts of Clarendon, and parts of St. Mary who would go to the Spanish Town Hospital, they're like, well, when they show us this nice diagram and tell us they're going to modernize the Spanish Town Hospital and they're going to do it in X time, is X really X? Or is X like the Cornwall Regional Hospital X?
But I could easily argue, though, that, okay, so Maurice Guy was right. Well, a politician might not say it that way.
Yeah.
So now they have actually paid attention to what he has put forward in terms of time and in terms of cost. And then they're saying, no, we're learning from this, and this will be the actual. So they might be closer to what you're now recommending, because I'm sure then that Maurice Guy would have been looking at these other institutions and he would have been making his own judgments on the time and the money that would have been needed.
Right. And you mentioned the budget debate, so the entire process is a two-part process. So we have what is famously called the budget debate, which is the Minister of Finance, opposition spokesman on finance, leader of the opposition, and then the Prime Minister. And now we're going into the sectoral debate. And what you're going to see in the sectoral debate are individual spokespersons with responsibility for specific portfolios from the PNP will be doing the right adjustments of some of the errors that are still being pursued and presented by the administration. So I can simply say, watch for the Maurice Guy presentation, where an actual medical practitioner who is in actual contact with medical professionals and who understands the actual requirements for the proper management of the health sector will be given an actual presentation that we can believe in.